Some paint protection products are only there for protection. Others are designed to help improve the look of your car as well. So today I'm going to be trying out two different types of product from Monstershine. So like I say, paint protection products generally come in the form of waxes, sealants and coatings. Some of them just apply protection, some of them apply some better looks to them as well. They have something which can enrich the look of the car. They can improve the gloss, perhaps even improve the colour depth of the car. Generally speaking, for something like that, I'd probably use a polish just to help enrich the paint and then add some sort of protection on top. But what I've got here is the first product we're looking at from Monstershine. This is their Gloss Lock Sealer Glaze. Now this is a glaze and a sealant all in one. Now a glaze is an alternative to something like a polish. Perhaps your paint is well polished and you're looking for something to go on just to give it a little boost. Perhaps you have an older car and you fear using some products which contain abrasives. Well, glazes don't have any abrasives, but they do have features which can help to improve the look of the car, generally in the form of fillers. So if you think of a 3-in-1 polish like Auto Glim Super Resin Polish, Auto Finesse Triple and the likes, they tend to have an abrasive, a filler and a wax or sealant. This one doesn't contain the abrasive, it just has the gloss enhancing fillers which are designed to help mask and hide some of the light scratching and swirling on your car to improve the look of your paint and also to add that protection to it as well. Very interesting product. What they're saying here is that you can use this a bit like using a wax, but it will have a bit more of a filling effect. So we're going to give this a try, and they do say you don't need to add any other kind of waxes or anything else on top of it because it is a sealer glaze. It is designed to provide as much protection as possible. As well as that, I've also been sent their hybrid detailer. So the hybrid detailer here, they're saying this could be the easiest QD you've ever used. Very interesting. So it's a ceramic detailer. Ceramic is the hot topic right now. Performs to a professional standard. So this is going to be a spray and wipe for instant gloss, shine and impressive beading and sheeting that lasts for months. And this is the product you should keep in your glove box at all times. That's a good idea, I like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to test the glaze on one half of a washed bonnet. I've made sure that all the protection that was there before is now gone. There's nothing at all. It is just holding onto the water. So we're going to test this on one half of the bonnet, and part of it I'm going to apply by hand. The other part I'm going to apply by machine as well, just to see how well it works, because generally speaking, if you have a machine polisher, it does help to apply a slightly more even film to the car. So we're going to be trying this with a DA, and then on the other half of the bonnet, we're just going to spray on the, what do they call it, the hybrid detailer, and we'll see what kind of looks we get from the car and what kind of water repellency comes to. Alright, so the first product we're going to use is the Gloss Lock Sealer Glaze here, and it's quite a creamy, thick product here. I'm going to be using this with a microfiber applicator pad on this section here. This is a smaller section, but I'll use the machine polisher on the larger. So pop that cap down, and let's see how we get on with this. I don't want to put too much on, I also don't want to put too little on, and it is quite thick and creamy, you can see there. So yeah, we'll go with about that. It doesn't actually say how much to use, just says apply by hand or machine polisher. So yeah, we'll just give it a go. Okay, and we'll allow that to haze. Okay, a finger swipe that's clear, that means it's cured. So let's go ahead and buff this off. That's actually really, really lovely. That is really nice. That's left a real slickness that wasn't there before. It's just like buffing off a nice wax, to be perfectly honest. It was not difficult to apply at all. It felt thicker than a normal wax, than a liquid wax, but it felt a little bit thinner than a polish. But that has just left a really nice glow to the paint there. That's really, really nice, and it came off superbly well. It just didn't take any time at all. The panel is not hot, but it is slightly warm today because we've had some bursts of sunshine, so it has maybe helped with the curing time a little bit. I think colder temperatures will make that curing a little bit longer, but that's really super slick. You can feel that slickness there. So let's move across to the center section where we're going to be applying it with the machine polisher. Again, it's a little bit overkill, but it says you can do it, so let's just give it a try. Alright, for the machine polisher, I've gone for 4 slightly larger blobs here because I'm working a slightly bigger area. This is a long throw dual action polisher donated kindly by a subscriber. Thank you very much, Leighton, you're a legend. So I'm just going to work this on the lowest speed just to spread it around. I might speed it up a little bit. I'll have a look and see how well it's spreading, and we'll just make sure we've got a thin, even film across the panel. That does look nice and thin and even, although this did kick up into a little bit higher gear. It was at its lowest, but it seems to kick slightly higher when you first switch it on. So it had a little bit of a fling there. Never mind. So this was the very, very soft. This is a pad generally used for waxing or, you know, very, very fine refining polishing. But that has spread out nice and thin and evenly. We've got that across the panel, so we'll leave that for a minute or so to cure and then buff this off as well. Okay, same again, clean finger swipe, buff. It just buffs off with no pressure at all. It just comes off fantastically well. So nice, so easy. Let's get to the plush side. Just lovely. I'll buff this off as well because I had a bit of sling there. Okay, just as nice and just as easy. If not easier, if you've got a machine polisher. Applying it across the panel here was super fast, super easy, very, very even as well, and just the same kind of slickness as before. Very, very nice. So now, bit of over buff there, we're going to move on to the QD over on this section, and to avoid any cross contamination, I'm going to spray it directly onto a microfiber before applying it to the panel, just so none of it blows across that way. I know the wind is going this way, but it's been shifting around, so I'm just going to spray it straight onto a microfiber first and apply it on, and then buff it straight off, and we'll see what kind of finish we get there. Alright, so I've got a brand new microfiber for the hybrid detailer, and this one is set to spray. It's got a spray and a stream setting, so it's set to spray. A few sprays onto the microfiber and we'll wipe it across. Put a bit more on there. It's funny, It doesn't actually want to stick around. I spray it on and wipe over and then it's gone. It's not the kind of thing it looks like I have to buff off. Let's just be cheeky and add a bit more. Just see how it goes. Yeah, it doesn't want to stay wet. It kind of flashes off. Very interesting actually. So it is just a spray and wipe. It's not a spray on, wipe on, buff off. It doesn't mention buffing on the towel, on the bottle, I don't think. Just spray and wipe, that's all it mentions. And I think it's absolutely right. It definitely is a spray and wipe product. Let's just flip over anyway to a dry side. And I can feel the slickness underneath the towel there. It definitely does feel very slick now. Wow, I mean it's difficult to tell. They are practically identical, very, very slick. So let's remove the tape now and have a look and see if there's any difference with the look of the paint for the sections which have been taped off, and then we'll have a look at the water behavior as well. Alright, I've had a look and I'm struggling to find the tape lines after I buffed off the excess that was left behind with the tape. It's very hard to see. I can just see the tape line there. It is ever so slightly faint, more faint, that's the word I'm looking for. It just looks like, and it's just barely there, but I can see there, that's where the tape was, and it's just ever so slightly richer on both sides, not by much, I mean by a tiny amount, but I can just see a line there where there is a difference. So it has applied something, it has deepened the coloration of the car here. Again, I can see it just a little bit there. It's barely visible, but it is there. It's just very hard to pick up on camera, but I am just seeing it. So it definitely is applying something. It is doing something to the paint, though it is just a small amount. But that's nice that it is actually doing something. It's not just applying protection. What is interesting is that where the tape line that I see here is, I can see difference on both sides of the paint, even though only this side had the glaze applied and this side had the hybrid QD. I can still see the tape line visible from both sides, not just one side. So the QD has done something here as well. It's definitely very shiny, definitely very slick, very glossy, which is nice. So let's move ahead, let's grab the hose and have a look at the water repellency. Now there is a difference there that you can see, is that the glaze tends to be more of a sheeter, as you can see there, whereas the hybrid QD seems to be more of a beader. So if we have a look like this, you get some lovely beads over here. Very nice indeed. Let's zoom into some of those. Really nice beads, really nice hydrophobic qualities there. Whereas over here on the glaze side, you can see the beads don't form quite as much and it wants to sheet more, which is what it says. It has some beading and some sheeting, but if you do that, look, you can see it leaves behind very little water. So there are some beads up here with some of the spray. If you've been leaving the car out in a gentle rain, you're going to get beads like that, which are very, very nice. But heavier downpours are probably going to sheet water off more. Let's have a gentle rainfall here. Let's do that. And you can see the difference here. They're not quite as round beads, they are slightly flatter, but there are bigger gaps between the beads. Here on the hybrid QD, we've got more round beads, and it really does want to push that water away. So let's really flood the panel. Can you tell I really love doing things like this? So there you go, a flooded panel there on the sealant side, and it does sheet. Flood the panel on the hybrid QD side, and it still sheets there. If you flood it, actually it sheets a lot. But different beading going on there. If you look at the two there, you can see where the line is. That's where the tape line is, right there. I knew it was there somewhere. And you can see these two sections, the hybrid QD does want to rid that water faster. So if that's your aim, if you're looking for better water repellency, then the hybrid QD is excellent. But as a wax, as a sealant, as a glaze, this stuff is actually very, very good. Very nice to use. Alright, so it's time for the verdict. Let's talk about the Gloss Lock Sealer Glaze first, which I really liked. It reminded me of a liquid wax. It was a little thicker than some liquid waxes, but that's because of the filling ability. The fillers within this make it thicker, so you've got to apply it slightly differently. The idea here is to work it in circles if you can, to make sure that you're getting those fillers into the scratches and swirls to help them hide those scratches and swirls, to mask their look, and to also help enrich the look of the paint. You're making it look just that little bit nicer. That's why I used this on a colored car instead of my black car, because it just made it look that little bit nicer, and it certainly is lovely and rich there. Also, like I said, it works a bit like a polish in as much as it works to enhance the look of your paint, but it doesn't have the abrasives. So if you're afraid of abrasives, this is a good place to start. If you have an older vehicle and you don't want to use abrasives on your older paint, then this is a good place to go. Plus, the sealant which is within this is very, very good. I've used other all-in-one polishes before which have waxes or sealants in them, and this seemed to do a better job than some of the others. So a really, really good job this. Not difficult to use at all. Certainly by hand it was fine. With the machine polisher, if you've got a DA, then they're a fantastic idea. It really helps you get it across the panel quickly and helps leave an even coverage on the panel as well. Really, really nice. Like that stuff a lot. And then the hybrid detailer, this stuff I really like because it was super fast to apply. It does say, is this the easiest QD you've ever used? But very possibly. This stuff just went on so fast and so easy. I didn't have to spray it on, wipe it over, then leave it, or then buff it off afterwards. I didn't have to buff it off. This was one of these products where you just work it into the paint and then just massage it over. It seems to flash off very fast, and the water repellency that it leaves is fantastic. If you like beads, if you like very hydrophobic abilities, this stuff is fantastic. I mean, you could use this as a sealant in its own right, but using this after a wash, for example, dry off your car, spray some of this on, very quick and easy, and your car will be left very, very hydrophobic. You're going to get lovely beading, and the water is not going to want to stick around. So I'm really pleased with this stuff. I'm really happy with it. I like that a lot. So thank you very much to Stephen at Monstershine for sending these across to me. If you guys are interested in them, I will leave a link below to the Monstershine website where you can go and check them out. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and while you're there, make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss my next video uploads. In the meantime, I've been Specky. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.